Alrighty, so I waited to do a video till the end of the week because Bitcoin pretty much did what I thought it would do, and what I said on my last video, which I did at the beginning of the week, the opening of the week, this week. And I'm probably going to do a video tomorrow too for the opening of the new week. So let's see, whenever I did my last video, it was Sunday. That was the 23rd. So we had been oversold. You can look at the RSI right here. Actually, it was the beginning of that new week, so I think we were here. But we had been oversold. We had had some bullish divergence. I know that much. The reason I waited to do this video was because I wanted yesterday's candle to happen. So we consolidated like I thought we would. And then we retested this area. So we came down here. See this 9 right here? That was previous resistance. We broke out of there on the 8th of February, big 20% candle, and then we consolidated through there. We had this head and shoulders pattern, or this cup and handle. We hit those targets. We hit the target of the channel as well, because this cup and handle here is pretty much this. We fully hit it. We didn't fully hit it. That says more like 26, like mid-20s. Still possible. We've tried to get some momentum that didn't follow through, but I want to take this off my chart right here. So 38,349. I mean, yesterday was a big down day. It's like almost 8%. Pretty much erased the day on the 24th. We had resistance. A lot of people looked bullish. We were getting close to 40. We did get over 40, but it just couldn't hold. So I'm going to clear that off my chart. So what's next? What's next is the closing of the week, and it doesn't look good. So if I go here, what we really needed, now we do have a reversal candle on the weekly, but what we really needed was Bitcoin to get up to 40 to kind of keep this in this short-term moving average going below and closing below the long-term moving average. Now, the way that this strategy works, if you don't have really an extended week, and then you don't reach the upper kind of price target for the cycle, which is still over 100,000. What we're getting is kind of what we got in 2013. At least that's what a lot of analysts are saying, and what I'm saying, what I've kind of been saying, almost, that we could get, even though this cycle is different than the previous two, I do believe that, but we could get this double top, this double peak type cycle. We never got to the upper top of the Mayer multiple bands, but we kind of reached the high. We've pulled back as low as 53% from top to the low. So where are we at historically? This lower level right here would mark a capitulation bottom. We're still in the mid 30s. This is right around 22,000, 23,000. It's starting to flatten out. All these are starting to flatten out because prices pulled back. They're not completely flattened out. They're not really turning over yet. That would take a while. And even here, they kind of look like they're flattening out, and then, I mean, price still moved. So, but for the week, what I'm saying for the week is that if this short term closes below this long term, which I think it will, that's a signal to exit your position, 100%, or depending on how much, maybe I want to keep Bitcoin, 15% of it for the long haul. But this is saying right here to exit, and then you wait until these moving averages start to move back up for another breakout. But this is a reversal candle. We can look at some other metrics. We can look at the funding rate. The funding rate is negative. It's been negative for 2 weeks. On the daily, it is also negative. So the market is net short. But technically, this does not look good. We're here at a low. And if this 2 goes below this 1 and then it closes, I would say below any of these 2 lows, this one at 30,000 or this one at 31, which that's another big move. That's more than 10% down. We're probably going to see lower prices. Where would we go? Maybe as low as 25,000. On the 4-hour, people are, that was a relatively larger dip today. People that, the market's going net positive, which is not great. I would have liked for this to stay negative, but it is what it is. This is what the chart's telling me. This doesn't look, I'm not going to say it, I don't want to create any fear or anything, but this technically does not look great. CMF is going down. There's no support here. Daily again. We are getting a flat price with the increasing indicator, so that's good on the daily, a little bit longer term time frame. On the weekly, I know this is going down, and if this doesn't really find support at 0 and bounce, again, this doesn't look good for price. It could also mark a bottom with some consolidation, but doesn't look great. This is a reversal candle, which is kind of good. We do have the index, the funding rate going negative on a longer term, which is okay. This Bollinger Band is the lower limit. We've kind of pretty much hit. The daily and the 4-hour it's consolidating in this lower end. So as a whole, we'll look at the hash rate real quick. This doesn't look great at all. Even though we'd have that reversal candle on the weekly, I think it's likely we go lower, maybe get to that $30,000 range again this upcoming week. So I know the RSI is extended on a couple of time frames, not on the daily, but not on the weekly, but on the daily, it almost is. So if we get lower prices, let's bring up the CMF. That's the two I like to use together. So if we get lower prices, but we have bullish divergence, I think it's just a matter of time before we get a bounce. And I did say by mid-July, see, this is just going down with price. But this is some divergence right here. We have price going up. This here is hidden divergence. So that is bullish, but it's not weak. It's kind of a weak signal whenever you have bullish hidden divergence. So it almost means a continuation of the trend, but it's really more if the trend is going up. Where here, the overall trend is down, but that's still something to be a little bit maybe bullish on. But I think it's just a matter of time before we actually get a bigger jump. We can look at the daily. We can look at the hourly. The hourly's kind of doing something similar. So this doesn't, this is just falling price. This is this doing the same thing? No, this is just falling price as well. But you can see the RSI is, it went oversold, but we're getting a higher indicator, but the price is going up, so that's really not doing anything. 4-hour, we're getting this bullish divergence, or hidden divergence on the RSI. On the CMF. So there is a couple of things that are, kind of maybe bullish, but overall, the majority of the indicators are bearish. So week closes out. I'll do another video. But I do think, even though we have that reversal candle on the weekly, that we're going to get more downside. I also did say that I think we're going to retest the breakdown. I think that will happen eventually. These bull even if we are entering a mini bear or a full blown bear market, or bear, in the beginning of a bear cycle, yeah, they go down, but then you get these larger. I mean, it's common to get these weeks where you have positive, 15, 20, maybe even 30, close to 30%. So you're not going to get downside like this consistently for, I mean, you can, let's see, you had a good bit of weeks. You had like a whole month or 2 months of downside, and then you got a big 30% wick. So we've pretty much had 2 weeks. I did say this could end if we are in like a mini bear by July, 3 to 4 months, which would put us towards the end. So this, if it broke down here, maybe September, yeah, August, September. So we could go sideways and then eventually pull out of this. But eventually, we're going to get a big week. We could get more downside, but we would get a big week. So, yeah. So the daily is what I think maybe we'll pull into this cross by June. So, weeks in crypto land are, like months. So we'll see, but I don't like the way the week is going to close. I'm going to cover one more thing. Silver did okay. Gold did okay. They kind of went sideways as well. There was a lot of talk about inflation this week. I mean, we can look at the dollar. It was weak in the beginning of the. It was showing some weakness at the beginning of the week, and then it bounced towards the end of the week. But then yesterday it closed. It went high and then it closed. So I still think the dollar is going to go down, which would be good for Bitcoin. Weakness in the dollar. But later during the week, the Fed tried to ease like inflation worries that we're not going to see inflation. It's not going to be as high as everyone thinks it is, but you're already seeing it in a bunch of commodities, fuel, lumber, corn. It's showing up everywhere. So, but yeah, I want to go over AMC because it's a meme stock that took off, and I actually got in on this. I didn't get the massive run up. I got a 20% return, but I can show you where I entered, and it was an area where it was overbought, but you had such good. It was this day right here, the 25th, and it was towards the end of the day. Right here, I got in right around like 1550, and it was this candle right here. The reason was you had a rising CMF, and even though the RSI was high, if you look at the last time it ran up, it was also high. I mean, the structure looked very similar. And then there was also some information on the 4-hour that I had looked at here. So I thought it could at least definitely go to 1650. The RSI was kind of here at like a resistance area, and I said whenever the RSI is in over, it is overbought territory, but whenever it gets in this overbought territory, that's like a momentum. It acts more like a momentum indicator. But yes, it's still oversold, but you can still get some good momentum in this area. And we were at resistance. The CMF had already broken out above previous resistance. So I was like, this thing can at least go up to 1650. You look at this 9 on the 4-hour, and then it started to reverse. I do think it's going to open down because there was a lot of selling yesterday for the week. How much? Maybe 30 to 50%. But here's where I got stopped out because I don't ever trade without a stop. This candle here was right here was a 9, and then you had some fading in the CMF, which indicates a little bit more sellers. And you saw the same thing whenever it went to the last peak here. The CMF started to go down. RSI had already started to diverge away from price. This one kind of stayed level, but I was I entered the trade more on what the CMF was doing. So what I did the next day, I looked at the average true range of the price, and it was like 75 cents. Right here. That was $1. That one says $1. It was right here. That was the close. So I looked at it at the close, and it was 75 cents. And I said, okay, if price goes lower, I'll show you what I did. So if price goes lower than, so 1945 was the low of this candle, minus 75 cents. What is that? That's 1870. So I was like, if it goes lower than 1870, I can put a stop, because I think it's gonna. Whenever this candle was developing, the CMF was actually down. So I was like, okay, I think there's gonna get some price fade. So I actually put a stop here at 1840. Yeah, 1840. Price went there, went 8 cents lower, and then it found support. I didn't know that was going to happen whenever the candle was forming and it dipped that much. And then buyers came in, and then it just ran up. So yeah, I made like 20%, but I also missed out on a good bit. So I missed out on another, plus 50%, because the way I trade, I definitely would have sold on this day where it opened up over 30. It was like $35, because, like I said, the structure was very similar to this. This had an up day of 300% in one day, but you can see how you're getting higher highs, but lower lows on the CMF. So I definitely would have sold this day, not held into the holiday weekend, because the market doesn't open back up until Tuesday. But hey, what is it? Traders only take what they deserve, and apparently I only deserve 20%. I didn't deserve the next plus 50, but I'm okay with that, because trading's about being profitable. It's not about catching the absolute tops and bottoms. So, but that's about it. Spent more time on Bitcoin, but sorry I can't deliver more good news. We do have that reversal candle, but overall, doesn't look great. But we'll see how things develop through tomorrow and then the beginning of the week. But right now, I think, it was boring. We do have a reversal candle, but there isn't a lot of strength that's coming in that I can see. But we could, a day or two could change Bitcoin. We could be back to 60,000. But so yeah, appreciate it, and thanks for watching.